We achieved huge savings, restored qualified pensioners arbitrarily removed from the payroll.
Light at the end of the tunnel for senior citizens as President Buhari puts them on priority list.
Let him sit down first. Don't be pushing. Be careful because take it easy.
Senator Dino Melaye surrenders to police, ends 8 days siege of his Abuja residence.
We are not going to stop any of our members who wishes to serve in that capacity.
An ASU and INEC meeting ends on brighter note. Academic staff to participate in general elections. Hello and welcome to NTN Network News. I am Joseph Johnson in Abuja. Also reading with me tonight from our Lagos Network Center is Dotun Ogunyemi, and Sadia Umar Degi joins us from our Sokoto studio. The federal government and members of the organized labor have agreed to reconvene next week, Monday, to enable them conclude their discussions over national minimum wage. Both parties spoke to the media after the meeting, which lasted several hours.
Discuss all the issues and all the areas, particularly on how we can be able to ensure that this issue is put behind us. And clearly that is why we took so much of this time, including going out to have some time out to consult, but we have not been able to conclude, and we have agreed to reconvene on Monday. The issues at stake clearly is about making sure that the bill is transmitted, and also other auxiliary issues that government said they are trying to put together to be able to do that. So those are the major issues that we also want to see how the money gets into the pocket of our workers.
In progress. At the point, we have made substantial progress.
Is it in terms of what, sir? Progress in terms of what?
Progress in terms of the transmission of the new national minimum wage bill. Discussed well. The results were not delivered. We are taking appropriate steps as required of us by law.
So is there any hope that workers will be able to get this minimum wage before the 2019 election?
The president is not committed to it. He won't put up the National Minimum Wage Committee in the first instance.
President Muhammadu Buhari says the era when senior citizens of the country are ignored, neglected and even persecuted is over. Receiving the leadership of the Nigerian Union of Pensioners on a courtesy visit, the president restated the commitment of his administration towards adequately rewarding those who worked selflessly to build Nigeria as a matter of justice. State House correspondent Adamu Sambo reports.
The leadership of the Nigerian Union of Pensioners was in the State House to formally express members' appreciation to President Muhammadu Buhari for making their lives better in many ways since coming to power in 2015. Acting National Chairman of the Union, Dr. Ayuba Musa Dallatu, enumerated regular payment of monthly pension, deforestation of outstanding pension arrears, release of about 80 billion naira, accrued right for contributory pension scheme, as well as payment of ex-Nigeria Airways pensioners as some of the giant strides.
The National Executive Council of our union, in appreciation of what you have done for the Nigerian pensioners, of which we believe you will still do more in the years ahead, have decided to confer on you the grand patron of the Nigerian Union of Pensioners and to decorate to you at a later date subject to your conveniences. Our union pledges our loyalty and support to your administration and pray that it will please the Almighty Allah to grant you the desires of your heart.
The pensioners, however, made a case for national policies on pension parity and social security for the elderly, as well as an enhanced minimum wage for pensioners in tandem with the proposed new national minimum wage. President Muhammadu Buhari, who noted the solemn requests of the pensioners, promised to do all within his power towards addressing them, subject to availability of funds. Already, the president has authorized various schemes for the restoration of Niger Delta Steel Company, NITEL and MTEL, Biafra Police, as well as war veterans pensioners.
In addition to the government's positive impact on pensioners' lives, we achieved huge savings, restored qualified pensioners arbitrarily removed from the payroll, thus bringing succor and hope to senior citizens, thereby improving confidence of the entire country in the government and its policies.
President Buhari, however, reminded the senior citizens of the many calls on government resources, which include securing the country, development of critical infrastructure, enhancing agricultural and manufacturing sectors, mitigating the effect of climate change, as well as funding educational and healthcare services.
We have attended to all these and much more with half the resources the previous governments enjoyed. We intend to gradually bring all pension payments up to date. We will continue to clean up the database so that all fraudulent claims are disallowed and those entitled are included in the records. This is a small part of our major effort to improve the overall working of the federal machinery.
Established in 1978, the Nigerian Union of Pensioners caters for the welfare and well-being of all retired workers in the country. From the State House, Adamu Sambu, NTA News.
And President Muhammadu Buhari has admonished the nation's youths as the most productive segment of the population to adequately prepare themselves for political leadership, as his generation will eventually quit the scene for them to take over. Receiving the Ohaneze Ndigbo Youth Wing, led by the acting national leader Kingsley Lawrence, President Buhari described Nigerian youths as critically important to the Nigeria project. Again, Adamu Sambo has the rest of the story.
President Muhammadu Buhari said a greater part of the Nigerian population is made up of youth who are not only virile and active, but also a factor in the Change Nigeria project.
Youth must begin to groom themselves for the leadership of Nigeria. Much sooner than later, we will leave the stage and you will take over. You must have to equip yourselves properly.
The president welcomed the group for appreciating his administration's efforts at providing the much-needed infrastructure across Nigeria and also ensuring the availability and price stability of petroleum products during the Eulotide. He promised to at all times see to the resources of Nigeria work for Nigerians.
That is why we are here, to make a difference in the lives of Nigerians. We shall make a difference.
On the industrial action embarked upon by the Academic Staff Union of Universities, ASU, President Buhari expressed the hope that good reason will prevail in the ongoing talks between the federal government and the representatives of the union. Leader of the Ohaneze Ndigbo Youth Wing hailed the Buhari administration for stabilizing the economy, improving the security situation, and sustaining the development of infrastructure, particularly the second Niger Bridge project.
We, the Ohaneze Ndigbo Youth Wing, are partners in progress, Excellency, in Nigerian projects. And we extend our hands of partnership to your administration that guarantee the interest and welfare of Ndigbo. There is no gainsaying the fact that your administration has impacted the Igbos in some positive way. You are talking to do. You say it and you do it. Thank you so much.
The youth leader made a strong representation for, among others, the actualization of Igbo presidency in 2023, as well as kickstarting a process for the creation of an additional state in the southeast. From the State House, Adamu Sambo, NTA News.
The Cherubim and Seraphim Unification Church of Nigeria has promised every support to President Muhammadu Buhari in his genuine efforts at sanitizing the country for a sustainable future and have urged him to remain resolute in his fight against corruption. The Supreme Head, His Most Eminence Dr. Solomon Alao, made the promise while leading senior members of the church on a courtesy visit to President Muhammadu Buhari. Here again is Adamu Sambo.
For your eyes only, Mr. President, if you don't mind. For your eyes only. For your eyes only.
His Most Eminence, Dr. Solomon Adegboyega Alau, told the president that members of the Cherubim and Seraphim Unification Church, founded in 1925, sincerely appreciate the good works and notable achievements recorded so far by his administration and assured him of their continued support and prayers.
We anticipate that corruption is killing Nigeria and may fight back. We anticipate that. But Your Excellency, the vast majority of this country are with Your Excellency. So please press harder the accelerator. The success is just around the corner.
Dr. Alau also commended the Buhari presidency for checkmating the Boko Haram insurgency, but asked the president to ensure the release of Leah Sharebu of Dapchi, being held captive by the terrorist elements for refusing to renounce her fate. He also canvassed a level playing field for all actors in the forthcoming elections, as well as a consideration of the clamor for restructuring of the federation.
I believe I come February this year, the result will be so obvious to be unable for anybody to go to court. And I pray this God grants it in Jesus' name.
President Muhammadu Buhari commended the group for upholding the administration and the government in prayers, particularly as the general elections approach.
With your prayers, we will go out into the field with full confidence that you are backing us because you understand and you endorse our system of contributing to the welfare of the people and the country.
President Buhari described as gladdening that the church lauded the good work being done by the governing APC in the areas of infrastructure, anti-corruption and security, saying this is not only encouraging but a significant moral booster.
I assure you that our objective is this country. We have no other country than Nigeria.
The Cherubim and Seraphim Unification Church of Nigeria is an umbrella body of all Cherubim and Seraphim churches in Nigeria and in the diaspora. From the State House, Adamu Sambu, NTA News.
Now let's take you to Kano State, where the Kano Emirate Council has organized a special prayer session for peaceful conduct of the forthcoming general elections and the country's security operatives in the war front in Zamfara State and the entire northeast. The Emir of Kano, Mohammed Sanusi II, who instituted the annual prayer session for the nation, said the Emirate Council is worried about security challenges bedeviling the country. Abdullahi Mustafa reports that Governor Abdullahi Umar Ganduje was among those who graced the prayer session.
Emir Muhammad Sanusi II instituted the annual prayer session shortly after his ascension of the throne in 2014. It is to seek Allah's protection for Kano and Nigeria in general against natural calamities, insecurity, and social vices. Prayers are also being observed for economic prosperity and development. This year's prayer session, attended by Governor Abdullahi Umar Ganduje and members of the Kano business community, focused on the recent security challenges facing Zamfara, Katsina, Borno, and Yobe states. Emir Muhammad Sanusi II, who led other Islamic scholars in the annual event, prays for an end to the killings and God's support and guidance to the federal government as well as security agencies in addressing the problem. The Emir stressed that it is only with prayers that the nation could overcome the major challenges standing on the way of its progress. Prayers were also held for the peaceful conduct of the upcoming general elections. In Kano, Abdullahi Mustafa, NTA News.
To security matters now, the Air Task Force of Operation Dirant-Mikia has destroyed another bandit hideout and neutralized several fighters near Dumburu, a hill in Zamfara State. Director of Public Relations and Information Air Commodore Ibikunle Daramola indicates that the attack was executed following human intelligence reports, which were later confirmed through intelligence, surveillance and reconnaissance missions, revealing a large number of bandits armed with high-caliber weapons. The Air Task Force dispatched 2 Nigerian Air Force attack helicopters supported by ISR platforms to engage the bandits and destroy their hideout hideout. The helicopters struck the target area in successive waves of attacks, causing damage to structures and inflicting fatalities on the bandits. Senator Dino Melaye has surrendered to the Nigeria police force after an 8-day siege on his house. This happened after his lawyer and some lawmakers visited his home at Maitama district in Abuja. Defense correspondent Alajide Bello reports.
Let him sit down first. Don't be pushing. Be careful because take it easy.
Senator Dino Melaye emerges after an 8-day siege on his residence. Though looking feeble, he submits himself into the hands of police operatives. The senator's journey to the police facility of the Federal Anti-Robbery Squad to meet with Deputy Commissioner of Police in charge of Police Intelligence Response Team begins.
And maybe by the time
In a statement credited to the Nigeria Police Force, the senator has been accused of conspiracy and attempted culpable homicide on police personnel in July 2018. For now, the senator is said to be receiving medical attention at the Garki Police Hospital. Olajide Bello, NTA News.
Well, do stay with us here on NTN Network News because we have plenty more to bring you after the break.
Going up? Of course you are. And why not? With Glow Internet, built on Africa's largest wholly owned metro fiber network, the sky is, well, it is rather unlimited. Up is upbeat, seamless. Up is quick and easy access to all your favorite apps and entertainment. And there is no downside on a network committed to upping your fun and productivity. Get quick on your uptake, my friend, and upset the odds in your favor. Because on Glow, up isn't an upgrade. It is the upgrade. Going up?
Upgrade to a 4G SIM for free and get 125% bonus. Also enjoy unconditional 25% data bonus non-stop on all auto renewals. Dial *777# to choose a plan.
Women and Youth Presidential Campaign Team, the Northwest Zonal Rally for the re-election of President Muhammadu Buhari and Vice President Yemi Osinbajo. Venue, Kofa Mata Stadium, Kano. Date Saturday, 5th January 2019. Time, 12 noon. In attendance will be wife of the President, Her Excellency Dr. Mrs. Aisha Muhammadu Buhari, wife of the Vice President, Her Excellency Mrs. Dolapo Osinbajo, wives of governors, all APC zonal and state women leaders, all elected APC officials, all APC zonal and state youth leaders, all party women, youths and loyalists. Chief host, Her Excellency Dr. Hafsat Abdullahi Umar Ganduje. Northwest Campaign Zonal Team Leader, Her Excellency Dr. Zainab Bagudu. Announcer, Hajia Salamatu Baiwa Umar Eluma, National Coordinator Director, Women Mobilization Presidential Campaign Council.
This festive season, there's no place like home. Get a GoTV decoder and GoTenna and 1 month of GoTV Max subscription for only 6,900 Naira. GoTV. Live it, love it.
Election 2019 is here.
This is a clarion call to all Nigerians by the Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC. On February 16, 2019, presidential and National Assembly elections will be conducted nationwide. Similarly, on March 2, 2019, governorship and state assembly elections will take place. INEC is committed to making the 2019 general elections the best we have ever had. Credible persons are being recruited and trained to handle polling units and collation centers at all levels. Our card readers have been upgraded and will be deployed to all polling units to prevent voter impersonation. We will involve technology in the conduct of elections to prevent fraud. Your votes will count. Join hands with the Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC. Let's make Nigeria proud. This message is from the Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC. INEC, making your votes count, consolidating our democracy.
The Honorable Minister of Education, Malam Adamu, invites all PhD and Master's candidates who had successfully completed the Commonwealth Scholarships and Fellowship Plan application form via the electronic application system and fulfilled all necessary requirements stipulated in the 2019 CSFP prospectus to attend nomination interview scheduled as follows. Monday, 7th January 2019, candidates from Northeast and Southwest. Tuesday, 8th January 2019, candidates from Southeast and North Central. Wednesday, 9th of January 2019, candidates from Northwest and South. The time is between 9 a.m. and 6 p.m. daily. Venue, Hotel Rosburg, formerly Naned Suits, opposite Federal Ministry of Justice. For further inquiries, contact the Director, Secretary, Federal Scholarship Board via fsb2011@gmail.com, fsbcm@education.gov.ng, or call 080-5910-8998, 081-8886-2281. Architect Sonny S.T. Echono, Permanent Secretary, Federal Ministry of Education, announcer.
Politics, democratically, affords a level playing field for everyone who carries the will and courage to lead a people in the right direction.
I wish to call on women to go and spread the good news and accomplishment of the present administration.
Women inevitably are the right source to pave this path that can bring good governance, structural stability, rapid economic growth, and basic human rights to all its citizenry. There is no better time than now to experience their prowess in this era, when women all over the world are showing that they have the right tools to build a nation. The Buhari-led administration and APC have aligned with its purpose to involve women with the right vision. The idea is not just for participation, but inclusive participation.
We can exert more power than we would have individually in garnering the majority of registered women and youth voters to vote for the Buhari-Osinbajo team come 2019.
This is what change is all about. This is the vision of the All Progressives Congress. This is for a new Nigeria.
Thank you for staying with the NTA. Now, National President of the Academic Staff Union of Universities, ASU, Professor Biodun Ogunyemi, says the ongoing industrial action by the union will not stop members from participating as ad hoc staff in the forthcoming general elections. This was the resolution of the consultative meeting between ASU and the Independent National Electoral Commission in Abuja. Timothy Yusuf reports.
The 2019 general elections is expected to take place in 1,558 constituencies, spread across 119,973 polling units, clustered into 8,809 registration areas. Beyond the numbers, INEC is interested in the credibility of all election duty personnel, with records showing that since 2010, the Commission has been drawing such personnel from the pool of the NYSC scheme nationwide as presiding officers and students of tertiary institutions as assistant presiding officers. However, the number is not always enough given the size of the country. Consequently, INEC engages the academic staff of tertiary institutions, mainly the federal universities, as collation and returning officers who are on strike even as the general elections draw near.
We came to appeal to the president and the leadership of the academic staff union so that we can have seamless processes leading to the successful conduct of the elections.
ASU President Professor Biodun Ogunyemi says members are patriots and will not indulge in acts capable of derailing the general elections.
Our members are free as citizens to participate in the electoral process as ad hoc staff, and we have restated that today, that we are not going to stop any of our members who wishes to serve in that capacity.
He assures INEC of the union's total support in the areas of research and other areas where their services may be needed. In Abuja, Timothy Yusuf, NT News.
The State House has reacted to allegations by the People's Democratic Party, PDP, regarding a commissioner in the Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC, Hajia Amina Zakari, accusing her of partiality and casting doubts about her integrity as an electoral commissioner. A statement signed by the Senior Special Assistant to the President on Media and Publicity, Garba Shehu, indicates that the accusations are baseless, as it was the PDP government that appointed her in the first place. President Buhari and Commissioner Amina Zakari do not share blood relations. Rather, an intermarriage occurred in their extended families, the statement says. The PDP is therefore urged to desist from harassing what the statement terms a hard-working mother. In a related development, INEC National Chairman Professor Mahmood Yakubu says he remains the nation's chief electoral and returning officer of the presidential election and will never relinquish that responsibility to anyone else. He was speaking while fielding questions from newsmen in Abuja. Timothy Yusuf reports.
Controversies trailed the inauguration of the Logistics and Collation Center Committees by INEC on Thursday, January 3, 2018. The People's Democratic Party Presidential Campaign Organization expressed reservations on Chairman of the Collation Center Committee, Amina Zakari, but INEC Chairman Professor Yakubu dismissed the allegation.
The responsibility for managing the venue does not in any way involve the collation of results. Under the Nigerian Constitution, I am the Chief Electoral Commissioner of the Federation and the returning officer in the presidential election. I'm not going to share that responsibility with anyone in the commission. I am absolutely responsible for the coordination of the Secretariat for the collation of results. But somebody has to prepare the venue for us.
On whether or not National Commissioner Amina Zakari is a blood relation of President Buhari, the INEC chairman says it is not true.
Let me say categorically that she's not related to the president. She's from Jigawa State, the president is from Katsina State.
He implores politicians to stick to issue-based campaigns as INEC is on course towards delivering credible general elections. In Abuja, Timothy Yusuf, NT News.
Information and Culture Minister Lai Mohammed has maintained his confidence and assurances to the people of Kwara State through their sustained clamor for change in governance. The minister stated this at the inauguration of polling unit canvassers and the Buhari Oshibajo Project 2019 campaign office in Ilorin. Anthony Forson has the details.
Today marks the most practical demonstration of our determination to rescue Kwara State from those who have held it by the jugular, those who have pauperized our people, the pathologically dishonest ones who have governed us by deceit.
The Information and Culture Minister, in a no-hold-barred mood, called on the people of Kwara to support the canvassers, whom he described as the Victory Army.
They are the army that will dismantle the gargantuan edifice of corruption and misgovernance.
Emphasizing that Kwara State had for a long time been ruled by people that are better described as dictators and despots. It is in this light that he said the canvassers are determined to lead the emancipation movement. Special guest at the occasion and Minister of Transportation, Rotimi Amechi, appeals to the people of Kwara not to despair in the face of the clamor for change, describing the current quest for change in Kwara State as one that is likened to the poor determined to wrest power from the rich.
Today, Kwara is leading the revolution to change Nigeria. Power was returned to the poor. If they don't want to distribute our wealth, we will distribute it ourselves.
He maintained that astutness on their part is the key to their success.
One of our key issues will be security. We're going to bring back security to the state. That fallacy that Kwara is in the bucket of somebody is erased completely.
We are prepared to avail Kwara State the use of our platform for the prosecution of a formidable winning strategy.
You must also listen to everything that the people are saying so that you can feed back to the party and the party will be able to effect corrective action. If you do that, you have performed the most important element of the party responsibility.
The 1,872 canvassers inaugurated represent 18,720 canvassers across the state, alongside 193 ward coordinators, 193 secretaries, 193 women leaders, and 193 youth leaders. The dignitaries, upon the inauguration, took a facility tour of the office where they were intimated with the real-time operations in the Situation Room on how to track elections. From Ilari in Kwara State, Anthony Forson, NTA News.
Governor Simon Lalong of Plateau State has pledged to consolidate on the gains of APC administration in the state, especially in the area of human capital development and project execution. He said this while flagging off his governorship campaign at the Ran Palm Township Stadium in Jos. Priscilla Guru-Nan reports that the national chairman of the APC, Adams Oshiomhole, the DG Buhari campaign organization, Rotimi Amechi, and the representative of the wife of the president attended the rally.
It was a gathering of political bigwigs and party supporters from the 17 local government areas who have come to drum their support for the re-election bid of Governor Simon Lalong. National Chairman of the APC, Adams Oshiomhole, DG Buhari Campaign Organization, Rotimi Amechi, representative of the wife of the President, Pauline Thailand, and former Governor of Benue State, George Akume, among other dignitaries, all agreed that with the achievements of the Buhari administration and the track records of the Lalong administration, they should be re-elected for a second term. Governor Simon Lalong pledged to focus on human capital development, economic and social infrastructure, and welfare of the citizens.
When I look left and look right, if it is in Plateau, I know that we have Buhari as a candidate. That means that the election is finished. We can only go and thank people in Plateau State on behalf of President Buhari.
Some decampees led by Ambassador Chris Giwa were received into the APC fold as they reiterated their support for Governor Simon Lalong. In Jos, Priscilla Grumnan, NTA News.
Now, with less than 2 months to 2019 general elections, politicians have been advised to desist from do-or-die politics and give equity and fairness a chance. The governorship candidate of Zenith Labour Party in Ogun State, Segun Odegbami, stated this at a forum tagged An Evening with Segun Odegbami. Lukman Adefesho reports that it was organized in Lagos by the publisher of City People magazine.
Fondly called Mathematical Odegbami based on his case on the pitch, the ex-international Segun Odegbami, who is the governorship candidate of the Zenith Labour Party, used the platform to lay out his plans for Ogun State in the forthcoming general elections. Odegbami explained that he doesn't have a political godfather, nor huge sum of money required considering Nigerian politics. Odegbami is not oblivious of the difficult journey he is set to embark on, but just as he was fearless on the pitch, cutting through the toughest of defenses with his dribbling skills and power-backed shots, he is ready to offer himself for the service of improving and changing lives for the better.
You're talking technology, you're talking culture, you're talking the arts, you're talking sports. Those are huge areas for our youth to just go into because it's really for youth. So when we create this world, what I intend to do is a project-driven new world. Create the projects and the young people will just gravitate in their thousands towards them. That is the environment we are going to create.
The publisher City People magazine, Sheye Kende, who hosted the event, and other guests recalled the contributions of Segun Odegbami to the development of football in the country, as they expressed no doubt in his ability to serve and bring speedy development to Ogun State.
I believe that the minimum some of us can do is to support his bid in the governance of his state, Ogun State. but I have no doubt in his ability, and I have no doubt that this country has an asset that is yet unexplored. I think this man needs to be encouraged.
The forum was attended by veteran media practitioners, sports journalists, members of socio-cultural groups, and some of his associates.
Goods and cash worth millions of naira have been engulfed by an early morning fire where more than 60 shops were destroyed at the Kure Ultra Modern Market, Mina, Niger State. Dauda Mohammed reports that although the fire was put out by men of the Niger State Fire Service, virtually all the victims could not salvage any of their goods.
The fire, said to have started at about 6 o'clock in the morning, engulfed goods ranging from provisions, foodstuff, including a major palm oil dealer shop, textiles and cosmetic shops. More than 60 shops at Block F and other attachment shops known as temporary shops were affected. Some of the victims alleged that the early morning fire was caused by a tea vendor. The fire, which lasted for hours, was put out by efforts of the men of the Niger State Fire Service who had a tough time accessing the area.
I lost 60 million. My brother, I lost more than like that.
We saw it's too harsh for us and too bad. And we need help from government.
There are so many goods we bought this week which we didn't sell. I'm calling on the government to help those that were affected, because a single thing has not been removed in all these shops.
Governor Abubakar Sani Bello was at the scene of the incident to sympathize with the victims, saying proper investigation will be carried out to ascertain the cause of the fire with a view to mitigating further occurrence.
I'm deeply concerned that for some of them they have lost their goods. If care is not taken, it will take a long time for them to recover what they lost. But as a state government, we'll see what we can do to support.
Security operatives were at the scene to maintain law and order at the market and to prevent theft. This inferno is coming 3 years after the last fire incident at the market in Mina. Dauda Mohammed, NTA News.
You're still watching NTN Network News. Let's cross over now to Lagos as we join Dotun for the very latest from that zone. Dotun.
Thank you, Joseph, and a warm welcome to Lagos. Minister of Transportation Rotimi Amechi has instructed the contractor handling the Lagos-Ibadan standard gauge rail line to complete the Iju-Agbado section of the project before middle of January. He gave the directive while inspecting construction works at the various sections of the project at Ijoko, Kajola, and Papalanto on the Lagos-Ogun axis. And Bolade Salami has the report.
The Minister of Transportation, Rotimi Amechi, during the inspection of Iju railway track, complained of the slow pace of work by the contractor and charged him to intensify work, especially on the Iju-Agbado section.
The problem they have now is the civil work between Agbado and Iju, which is critical to me because I don't think passengers should go to Agbado and pick train. I believe that it's important. The closer we are to Lagos, the better for the rail. That's where we're battling, and that's why I had to stop here to get them to tell me what they will do before the next 2 weeks.
At Ijoko train stations, contractors were seen on ground laying tracks, while the 800 meters bridge at Kajola was receiving finishing touches. The minister said the 42 billion naira recently released to the contractor was meant to enable him get all necessary equipment to site in order to fast-track work.
I'm not saying the money is not enough. The money is not their problem. They say the equipment, they are not an off-the-shelf equipment. I thought you heard me very well. It's not an off-the-shelf equipment. The equipment that you apply for overseas, you wait for them to listen and then they ship it down. So if you wait for those equipment, by the time it arrives, they will probably finish the job.
He implored the contractor to apply same level of speed applied at Iju to Abeokuta on Iju-Agbado rail station. In Lagos, Abolade Salami, NTA News.
Efforts by the federal government to reposition the economy through policies that foster the growth plan of 2017 to 2020 has received commendation due to successes recorded, especially in the small and medium-scale enterprises sector. President, National Association of Chambers of Commerce and Industry, Nasima Alaba Lawson, stated this at a media parley in Lagos. Again, Bolade Salami reports.
The President, National Association of Chambers of Commerce, Industry, Mars, and Agriculture, NASIMA, Alaba Lawson, while reeling out the social economic performance of the federal government in 2018, said government's investment in agriculture contributed about 29.59% to the nation's gross domestic product in third quarter of 2018, as against the 29.22% in the third quarter of 2017. The implementation of the Economic Recovery and Growth Plan, ERGP, in 2017, she reiterates, has significantly promoted the ease of doing business through the creation of an enabling business environment.
The Government Enterprise and Empowerment Program has disbursed 1,378,804 loans to small businesses and farmers in all states, including the federal capital, Abuja.
With regards to a misleading and false report being circulated on the social media on the closure of 800 companies under the present administration, the president reacts this way.
Let me be clear. NASIMA in recent times did not make any such statement attributed to it regarding the closure of companies under the current administration of President Muhammadu Buhari.
Management of the chamber expressed their readiness to join the government in its determination to develop the economy. In Lagos, Abolade Salami, NTA News.
You're still watching NTA Network News. More reports ahead after this time out. Please stay with us.
Nigerians. The Presidential and National Assembly elections will be conducted on Saturday, February 16, 2019. In addition, the governorship and State House of Assembly elections will be conducted on Saturday, March 2nd, 2019. Accreditation and voting will take place at the same time between 8 a.m. and 2 p.m. Card readers will be used for the accreditation of voters. At 2 p.m., voters still on the queue will be allowed to vote. Come with your permanent voter's card to the polling unit. Only persons with their permanent voter's cards, PVCs, and whose names are on the voters register will be accredited and allowed to vote. Take advantage of the simple accreditation and voting procedure. Vote the candidate of your choice. This message is from the Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC. INEC, making your votes count, consolidating our democracy.
I'm from Delta State Company. At that 2005, the company was privatized. Those that were working, that were caught up with the privatization, were laid off. No arrangement for the payment of anything. They were denied their pension rights. So in 2005 through 2017, we have been struggling how we can be put back on pension. We staged a lot of demonstrations under the rain, under the sun. The government did not listen. The marginalization for the past 13 good years by successive administration, the sufferings we'll be going through, the loss of human dignity and no hope for livelihood from July 31st, 2018. The monthly pensions start coming to the pensioners. We also want to be very, very thankful to President Muhammadu Buhari. He's God sent.
Nigeria, a land of promise, land of potential, rich in oil, arable land, and solid minerals. Yet, hunger, joblessness, homelessness, and poverty are widespread. Over the years, Nigeria has suffered from hospitals without drugs, schools without teachers, and a huge infrastructure deficit. Clearly, we are yet to reach our full potential. And one of the reasons is because people choose bad leaders. Some even sell their conscience for a few thousand naira. For 2019 elections, don't sell your vote. Don't sell your future. Don't buy the people's lives. Vote selling is a crime against yourself. You will spend the next 4 years paying for it. Vote buying is against the law. Politicians, stop buying votes. People, stop selling your future. This message is from the National Orientation.
It is that time of the year when we appreciate all those that mean so much to us. All sponsors, our clients, government at all levels, corporate bodies, advertisers, religious bodies, civil society groups, political parties, business, and above all, you, our esteemed viewers. Together we made 2018 great. Together we shall make 2019 even greater. And that is why we say thank you. Merry Christmas and a prosperous New Year.
Let's turn our attention to business news now. Securities and Exchange Commission set to tackle issues of unclaimed dividends in the stock market. Chimobi Walter Naji is here with me to give us details on business news. Chimobi, it's good to see you.
Good to see you too, Johnson. Now, the Securities and Exchange Commission, in its bid to reduce the number of unclaimed dividends in the market, have put modalities in place to identify ways of ensuring investors into the market receive their dividends as it's when due. The Director General of the Commission, Ms. Mary Uduk, noted that the value of shareholders' unclaimed dividends as at September 2018 stood at about 100 billion naira. She noted that the e-dividend mandate will be used to credit an investor's account within 24 hours after profit has been declared by the different companies.
We're doing of the companies that were doing very well and wanted to increase their holding in these companies, and therefore they bought them in fictitious names, some in multiple names, and as I speak, a lot of them don't even remember, what names that they used. And so because of that, their share certificates were not collected, and this increases the quantum of unclaimed dividends in the market. And therefore, the Commission is engaging with all the receiving agents, to check into their records and see how this can be collected, this can be reduced, and then the owners claim them.
Meanwhile, the Corporate Affairs Commission, CAC, has extended the reduction of cost of business name registration by 50% to 31st March 2019 from 31st December 2018. And now to the stock market. Trade closed flat on the floor of the equities with a minus 0.43% and an all-share index of 30,638.90, a total volume of 334.3 million valued at 1.7 billion naira were traded. The market capitalization stood at 1.4 trillion naira. ICO led the top traded equities with a volume of 83 million valued at 52 million naira. Okomu Oil, however, came tops on the gainers table ahead of Nigeria Breweries and Guarantee Trust Bank with a 4.9% change. Better Glass came second on the losers table to close at minus 1.90%. And in other stories, the Nigerian Customs Service in its 2018 revenue report realized a total of 1.2 trillion naira for the year, which is 164.8 billion naira higher than the 2017 figure of 1.03 trillion naira. Comptroller General of Customs, Colonel Hamid Ibrahim Ali, who applauded the feat, said Customs Service has reinvigorated anti-smuggling operations, which yielded a total of 5,235 seizures with duty paid value of 61.5 billion naira. He further appealed to the public, especially border dwellers, to support the NCS to protect the nation's economy and security, as well as put an end to smuggling by reporting to the nearest customs office. Now, those are the stories in the business cycle at this time, Johnson.
Thank you very much indeed, Chimobi. Now, Sadia in Sokoto has a couple of stories making the rounds there. Let's join her now. Hello, Sadia.
Joseph, welcome to Sokoto. Sokoto State Ministry of Animal Health and Fishery Development has confirmed the outbreak of a strange deadly disease affecting donkeys. About 228 donkeys have so far been hit by the disease in Bagayawa village area of Wamako local government. The report.
Donkey
Donkeys are staple animals used in transportation of goods and services in most towns and villages of Sokoto State. However, 2 weeks ago, there was outbreak of a deadly strange disease ravaging donkeys in many villages along the Nigeria-Niger border. Investigation by NTA News revealed that donkeys hardly survive the disease and usually dies within 2 days of contacting the disease. It is believed that the disease must have originated from Niger Republic and spread to other parts of Sokoto State. In the meantime, Sokoto State Ministry of Animal Health and Fishery Development has taken samples of the donkeys affected and sent to National Veterinary Research Institute, VOM, JOS, for investigation.
During the advocacy and sensitization, we were able to convince them to make sure they report any case, any strange case that they see. We gave them our hotline number, and already we've sent in notification disease report to the Federal Ministry of Agri.
Government had also sent rapid response team to vaccinate donkeys against the disease in the areas hit by the epidemic.
The national leader of All Progressive Congress, APC, Bola Ahmed Tinubu, has challenged politicians to borrow a leaf from the political ideologies of late President Shehu Shagari in the interest of the country's unity. Aminu Bello Kaoje reports that the APC leader gave the challenge during a condolence visit to the families of late Shehu Shagari.
Prominent Nigerians have continued trooping to the residence of late former President Shehu Shagari in Sokoto to condole with his families and people of Sokoto State. National leader of APC Bola Ahmed Tinubu, Governor of Kano State, Abdullahi Umar Ganduje, Emir of Kano Muhammad Sanusi II were among those who condole with the families of late Shehu Shagari.
One of the most exceptional people that encourage one man, one vote in their political life. And he has always promoted the interests of both
in the conduct of our political affairs and in the conduct of governance. That is the only way that we can move this country forward.
Emir of Kano Muhammad Sanusi II said, late Shehu Shagari has lived a fulfilled life worthy of emulation. Former Kano State Governor Ibrahim Shekarau, that of Adamawa Murtala Inyaku, former Secretary to the Government of the Federation Yael Ahmed, National Rescue Movement presidential candidate Ibrahim Usman Al-Haji, Natasha Apoti, Kogi Central Senatorial candidate for SDP, Malam Nuhu Ribadu, were among prominent Nigerians who condoled with the bereaved families. Responding on behalf of the family, the eldest son of the late President Bala Shehu Shagari thanked the visitors for the condolence. In Sokoto, Aminu Bello Kaoje, NTA News.
That's all from this end. It's now back to Joseph in Abuja. Good evening.
Sadia, thank you. The Ghanaian President Nana Akufo-Addo has sent a condolence message to Nigeria's President Muhammadu Buhari over the death of former President Shehu Shagari. In a letter personally signed by the President, that's Akufo-Addo, the death of former President Shehu Shagari was described as not only a loss to Nigeria, but the entire continent. He said late Shagari would be remembered for his modesty and humility, as well as the great heights he achieved in life. In the same vein, the Ghanaian Vice President has paid a condolence visit to the Nigerian High Commission in Ghana, where he signed a condolence register. At 10:30 tonight, a special tribute in honor of former President Shehu Shagari comes up from the archives of the NTA. All NTA stations are advised to remain on the network service. We still have foreign sports and, of course, weather update, but that's after this break. Stay with us.
Before we came into National Homegrown School Feeding Program, we are only producing 2 bags of flour. Now we are producing up to 40 to 50 bags of food breaks to children per day.
Before, we could sell the sachet juice and some of our materials at about 4 trucks per week, 6 trucks. But with homegrown now, we are going to about 14 trucks per week. Because of the national homegrown feeding, school feeding, we had to add additional 150 staff in order to cope with the time and then the production capacity.
We really praise the present administration under the General Muhammadu Buhari for creating national homegrown school feeding program.
Kudos to the federal government.
Thank you.
Brought us as usual.
As usual. You have no problem.
For the three
You are welcome, sir.
as usual, yeah?
Welcome. You take that one. Yes. Take that one. You don't understand? We want Nigerian homegrown rice. Finish. You don't have? You don't have?
Join the rice revolution today.
No other rice that tastes like Nigerian rice. Are you sorry? That's the Nigerian rice we are talking about. Chocolate made in Nigerian rice. Healthy food. I'm going to bring Mrs. Mobu to come to chocolate rice of made in Nigeria here. And see how it are made.
Correct.
And how they are cook it.
Correct.
Homegrown rice are good for your health. It boosts our economy and give employment to our people.
This message is brought to you by the Federal Ministry of Information and Culture.
Next is Sports Update with Tamara Ebiwe.
Cycling in Nigeria will take a new turn in 2019 and beyond as the velodrome, a facility for indoor track cycling, comes alive after about 16 years. Team Nigeria cyclists to the African Track Championship in Bismarcksburg, South Africa later this month are currently utilizing the velodrome for intensive training.
In the whole of Africa, apart from South Africa, it is only in Nigeria you see this kind of standard velodrome. And we are happy to put it into use. Because of this velodrome, the UCI are interested in Nigeria to make this place a development center.
In tennis, Canadian teenager Bianca Andreescu will compete in her first WTA semi-final Saturday after beating seven-time Grand Slam champions Venus Williams